Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And it looks like the huge feed and food drive that we had a short while ago has started to sink through eventually to what one could term as part of the mainstream media. And what I'm talking about is boere droogtehulp. And that basically means Farmers Drought Aid South Africa. And Chris Billion, who you would have met on the videos that I actually ran during this huge event. And I'll actually put a link to the playlist so you can watch all the videos that ran as this food and feed was delivered to this very drought-ridden area. So just go below the video, click on the link, and that'll take you to the playlist, and you can then watch particular videos about different parts of the entire project. Okay, so anyway, it's not just animals that don't have food here in the Northern Cape, but the people on the farms as well. So says Chris van Billion, founder of Farmers Drought Aid South Africa, or boere droogtehulp. About 80% of the farms here have laid off all their workers because they can no longer afford the workers. Children are removed from school because the cost can no longer be covered. About 100 farmers have committed suicide this year because of the drought. Think about that, 100 farmers. That's more suicides in the farming community than there are murders. And the reason for that is the ANC government, although this has been declared a disaster area in South Africa, they are providing no financial support, and these evil bankers are actually foreclosing on farmers who've been, for generations, been farming there, and that they're basically taking their farms off them, getting rid of all their equipment, putting them into the squatter camps for whites. From once, you know, it is absolutely appalling what is going on behind the scenes and is not talked about. Anyway, Chris van Billion says, apart from the drought relief provided by his organization and other similar organizations to the farmers, they receive no support from the authorities. No support from the authorities. The government is dragging its feet and not declaring the Northern Cape a disaster area. If he did, financing could be made available for the cause. Now, the problem there is that there are parts of the Free State that have been declared disaster areas and still no financing or funding has been provided to the affected farmers. This is because this stuff. Van Billion claims that the previous year's aid fund was stolen by government officials. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Willie Alkamp, a member of Parliament and Democratic Alliance councillor for the Northern Cape, explained that in July the party had already made request to Zamani Sol, the Northern Cape's Prime Minister, to declare the area a rolling disaster area. We have also applied further pressure with a nationwide petition. Alkamp claims that misappropriation, corruption, and money that just got lost are a major contributing factor to the ongoing laxity of the state. To declare the Northern Cape a disaster area, it must be published in the Government Gazette for comment and cap. Before that can happen, an audit of previous year's drought relief funding needs to be conducted. And that's where the problem lies, because they don't want people to know who stole the money. Andrew Lowe, the DA's premier candidate for the Northern Cape, will speak to Sol again this week to further encourage the local government to take action and get their house in order. Meanwhile, the DA has compiled a report showing that if the region does not receive above average rainfall in the coming summer rainfall period, 1 million livestock, such as cattle, not sheep or wildlife, will be lost. If you convert it into rand values, that's about 10 billion rand lost to farmers in the Northern Cape. The report also shows that some 62,000 people lost their jobs due to the drought. Each employee supports 4 people, for argument's sake, which means that 250,000 people will no longer have food or money. This includes a value chain. It's really astronomical, said Oukamp. He says he toured the Cape last week on a fact-finding mission and stopped in various towns, including Calvinia, Kenhardt, Uppington, Kimberley and Victoria West. Shocked is not the word. We met a farmer on Kenhardt who tried to maintain 14,000 hectares. He only has 200 sheep left. He doesn't even have the money to buy for his bakkie, so he can drive to pick up the dead sheep carcasses. People don't understand the pain and sadness that people go through here, he said. He also said that a community member, Mariana van Niekerk, has meanwhile made a brilliant proposal that the train trucks running between Saldanha and Sishen to the Kumba iron ore mines are being used by the government to provide further assistance to struggling farmers. Currently, one of the biggest expenses of various drought relief organizations is not products that drive them, but transport itself. Thousands of dollars are spent on diesel and the like. And that's exactly the point I made in an earlier video. This is why we need donations, so that we can actually provide people like Chris from Boere Droog to help and Patrick from Farmers Aid with funding for the diesel. The DA is therefore currently planning to meet with the directors of the Kumba mine, which belongs to Anglo American, to enable the logistics side of such a plan to take effect. The train wagons which transport iron ore between the mine and the port of Saldanha return empty to the mine after the cargo has been unloaded in the Western Cape. We can use the wagons, which form a 5-kilometre long chain and can fit 4 or 5 truckloads in one wagon to transport maize residues, wheat residues and feed bales available to the areas. The request to discuss the plan will be made next week. Van Biljon believes that South Africans will pay much more for mutton next year. The only reason meat is so cheap at the moment is because the farmers had to get rid of their livestock and sell it in bulk. We may pay 1,000 rand for a sheepdog next year, he said. He estimates that over the 7 years that the drought has raged in South Africa, farmers have already thinned their livestock numbers from an average of 5,000 sheep per farmer to just 200. Think about it. Think about how long it's going to take to actually build that number up again. In 1980, South Africa had 117,000 farms. Today, that figure stands at just over 26,000, said Van Biljon. He believes that another 12,000 farms will be lost in the next 4 years. We are on a downhill, and it's only getting worse. There is no more meat left. And the ANC government, well, they're fiddling, aren't they, while Rome burns. I mean, this is just absolutely disgraceful. And the Loving Life channel is proud to be part of Chris's project. And as you know, Patrick from Loving Life is very, very involved in that as well. We're a hugely successful team. And we're doing some remarkable work to try and help these farmers in these drought-stricken areas. And the tragedy is the ANC government are doing nothing. All they're doing is just looting out all the money that they can. They are completely corrupt. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video, and above all, stay safe. Bye for now.